Welcome once again to the telecourse for Teachers of English. I'm your host, Menchi Pascual. In the previous segment, you learned how to teach reading effectively. This time, I'd like to welcome you to the exciting world of writing. Today's episode will help you understand better what writing is, as well as help you make your students write in English more effectively. But first, let me take you to a classroom where a teacher tries to teach her class some writing skills.
Class, today you shall have an interesting activity. Okay? You're going to write a composition about something. Class, I don't want to hear that. Listen. You are going to write a composition of no less than 200 words on the topic, the effects of pollution on one's health. Okay? Now, you will complete your work within 45 minutes. So, yeah. Okay, class, do you have any questions? Huh? No. You may begin your work now. Bring out your pens and papers. Start writing down your composition. Okay, class, time's up. Finish or not finish? Finish or not finish? Pass your papers. Now, the people in front, you're going to be the monitors. Kindly collect all the papers. Okay. Thank you.
Does this scene look familiar? Have you ever wondered why most students can't seem to know what to do when asked to produce a piece of writing? Have you noticed them stare blankly at the ceiling, at the wall, at their paper? Bite their ball pens? Write a word or two on their paper? What do their actions mean? Why do most students act this way when asked to write? Is writing such a difficult task to do? We will know the answers to these questions when we return. Stay tuned. Welcome back. To understand the students' problems shown in the footage, let us first find out what writing is. In a way, writing is similar to speaking. Both are productive skills. While speech is produced when speaking, a text is created when writing. Remember, something is always produced when a person speaks or writes. However, speaking and writing differ in many ways. First, while normal persons may learn how to speak or talk spontaneously and effortlessly, especially in their mother tongue, they have to be taught how to write. Writing, aside from reading, makes a person literate or not. Second, while a person can use voice, tone, pitch, stress, gestures, facial expression to send a message. In writing, however, he or she uses carefully chosen words to express thoughts and feelings. Also, to signal meaning, a speaker uses pauses and intonation on the one hand. On the other hand, a writer uses punctuation to show whether he or she is asking questions, stating a fact, or expressing a strong feeling. While most speaking is spontaneous, natural, and unplanned, it may take time for one to think and organize thoughts in writing. It is planned. A speaker has to pronounce words correctly and clearly, while a writer must spell words right. Lastly, in speaking, simple sentences are commonly used. Repeating words and joining sentences by ands and buts are allowed in writing. Those sentences are longer, more complex, and not repetitive. More precise linking words are likewise used to compare and contrast, to give examples, to show cause and effect, etc. How else does writing differ from speaking? For one thing, writing is generally a conscious and solitary activity. It is done alone. Unlike in speaking, writers make extra efforts to be well understood by the readers because there is no face-to-face interaction between the writer and the reader. That makes the writer's work much harder. Since writers don't receive immediate feedback from readers, because of this, they won't be able to know right away whether what they have written makes sense or not. To compensate for lack of immediate feedback and face-to-face interaction, writers see to it that they use the appropriate words to express the tone of their message, to convey thoughts and feelings, observations, opinions, and attitudes. Besides, writers have to observe the conventions of writing, such as indentation, punctuation, the use of linking words for cohesion, etc. All these may frighten students, especially the beginners, and discourage them to further attempt writing. More often than not, the teacher's way of handling a class makes or breaks the student's attitude towards writing. How does your belief about writing influence your method of teaching it? Let me take you to a classroom scenario and observe very closely what takes place here.
Class, here are your corrected compositions. Now go over the corrections carefully and then rewrite your work neatly.
Mark, hurry up. Mark.
No, Jessel, my work is so neat. I got an 8.
That's okay.
I got an 8. Mia, get an 8.
This is okay.
Wow.
No, but I have no comments scores.
Let me see your...
Have you ever done that in class? In that scenario, how does the teacher view writing? Obviously, the teacher in that scenario appears to be simply interested in what the students can produce. She seems to be concerned about the end result of the writing activity. Apparently, she only wants to find out if the students can use the language forms, such as the form of the verb, in writing a composition.